guys, it is Carl Brown from guitarlessons365.com. We are going to finish our look at Surfing with the Alien with checking out that outro solo, which I just played, and then the second theme that came before it. We've pretty much covered all the rhythm guitar parts now, so we get the boring stuff out of the way. Now we're just going to continue here with the second version of the theme. So after the first solo, when it comes back in with a, which is that first theme that we learned in the thing. It's the exact same. So nothing new to learn there. So we're just going to go back to the second theme the second time around at the 2-minute and 12-second mark. Sounds like this. All right, so it's pretty similar to what we did before. Same. This little lick is a little bit different. Well, he does this. Slides 7 to 8 on the D, back to that 5 on the G, but here he pulls off 7 to 0 on the D. Then plays 5 on the D, and then 7, 5. And then the same that we did before in the first. Some harmonics. Or dive, maybe. And then. All right, now right here we have a new little lick. So that's a half stab bend. Then you grab 15 on the B string. Pick that 14 again. Release the bend to 13 on the B. Then pull off 14, 12. Then a whole stab bend of that 14. And then same as before. And then with that D power chord there. And then we get to the solo, which is just on a kind of that same riff that we did at the beginning of the song. All right, so let's take a look here at this first lick that opens the first phrase of the second or the outro solo. It looks like this. What is going on there? Now, it's just a repeated pattern, so it's not as difficult as, I mean, it's fast, but as soon as you get the pattern locked in, it's not that bad. You just got to get the pattern memorized. The pattern, it's kind of a stretch, too. We're pulling off 7 to 3 on the high E string twice. So pick the top note each time. Then over to 6 on the B string. So we have that so far. Now you're going to pull off 7 to 3 again, but just once this time. And then back to that 6 on the B. So that's the pattern. 2 pull-offs on top, then 1. So just if you can just work that pattern into your hand. And then figure out how you like to pick it, because, you know, it's... So you do the pattern 3 times, and then move it back the same lick, but you're just now going to be pulling off 6 to 3 in the high E and playing 5 on the B string. Now you're going to do that same lick 4 times there. So we have 3 times up, 4. All right, and then back to this lick once, the 7-3, once there, and then we're going to do this. Now the stretches are getting a little bit bigger here. We're going to pull off 8 to 3, and then play 6 on the pattern's going to change here. You're going to pull off 8 to 3, play 6 on the B, and then immediately pull off 7 to 3, and then pick 6 on the B. So you're going to go back and forth between those. So that's one time through the lick. You're going to do it 4 times. And then back to the 6-3 version of the lick. Let's do it once there. So all together. And then we're going to end it with this little, we'll finally get some relief. There's a bend there at the 6th fret. And then play 3 on the high E, 6 on the B. Pre-bend, it's a bend and release there at the 5th fret on the G. 3, over to 5 on the D. All right, then we have a very identifiable melody here with a whammy bar. All right, so those melody notes are just 18, 17, 15, 17, 18, 17, 15. So I'm sorry, so the melody is just this. 18, 17, 15, 17, 15. And then 18, 17, and then over to 15 on the G. So just do that without the bar first. So that's the melody, and then for every pick hit, basically as you pick the string, you dip the bar. Do it 4 times. And halfway through the last, I guess on the 15, the 20th fret bend there in the B string. And then we have some double stops. All right, so that's going to be 17 on the B and then 18 on the high E string. Then 15 on the high E and then a bend at the 18. Do it again. And then we start this thing where we're kind of going. It's going between 18, 17, that bend to a bar across the 15s of the B and the high E. All right, then we take it to the next phrase. So we're back to some kind of bluesy stuff here. It's going to be start with a bend there at the 5th fret, and then play 3 across the high E, B, and the G. Bend and release there at the 5, down to 3, and then we just go into some double stops. And you can kind of really do what you want here with it. It's just the 5th fret on the G and the B together. And then the 3rd fret there on those 2 strings. Resolve it there to the 5th fret on the D. So you kind of really do what you want. And then he kind of slides up. So sliding into the 7th fret on the G and the 6th fret on the B. Slightly palming. And then back to those 2 double stops with the 3 and the 5. All right, then we're gonna have some single notes. Just kind of go between 5 on the and 3 on the G, over to 5 on the D. Kind of do that a couple times. and then end it like this. All right, so that lick is just kind of a bend on those 2-5, those double stops at the 5th fret, down to the 3s, and then over to the 5th fret there on the D. All right, then we have some more pick tapping that we did in the first solo, and it sounds like this. All right, so that's, it's now we're over on the B string here, and we're holding the 15th fret in the left hand, and you're tapping at the 18th fret on the B. Then you're going to move down to the 13th fret on the B, and then the 17th fret with a tap. Like this. Then quickly, right before you transition, you're going to hear him go back to the 18th fret with a pick. So it looks like this. And then we're going to go over to the 19th fret on the G string, and you're going to play these. We're going to be tapping that with a pick, and you're going to be playing the 15th fret in the left hand on that string. And then down to 14 in the left and 17 with the pick. And there's a quick little bend there at the 18th fret there, so to end it. So we have this. All right, next phrase. All right, so that's going to start with a slow bend at the 5th fret on the G, and then play 6th fret on the B, and then you're just going to do that. This is a series of repeated 8th notes for a while, and then you're going to slide to the 17th fret on the G string and 15 on the B, 15 on the high E string. Do a big bend there at the 18th fret and release. And then you can start with like 15 on the high E, then 18, 15 on the B, and then into that bend at the 18th fret. And then just repeat 15 on the high E and that bend. All right, then we're back to the familiar melody done 3 times with a whammy bar. All right, and then I just hit a, kind of pinch harmonic on the G, and bent it up. And then we have the out of the song, the little outro that he's repeating as it fades out. It sounds like this. So there's those double stops at the 7th fret on the G, 6th on the B, and then the 5s, 3s, 5, 3. And so you're going to go back to that bend and release in the 5s, back to 3, back to the 5s. So we have this. Actually, the first time we do it, I'm sorry, you're going to slide it up and back down to 5, then 3, 5. So we have this. Repeat. And the second time, instead of doing a slide, do it with a bend. And resolve it to the 5th fret there on the D. Repeat. All right, and so it just continues to repeat that while the song fades out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth look at this, probably Satriani's most famous song. It's a lot of fun to play. It's got some really cool licks in it, and even when people don't like guitar, love to hear the sound of it. So learn it and impress your friends. I'll see you again soon for guitarlessons365.com.